Morning. Morning, Larry. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? All right, guys. I'm going to give folks a couple of minutes here to join us, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. In the meantime, I will share the risk disclosure. You can kind of read through that. In the meantime, all right. Okay, so looks like we're about 5 past the bottom of the hour. Good morning, Sapadia. So let's briefly go through the risk disclosure here, guys. Again, all the content being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice, offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, future company, or fund. We all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk. It's not for every investor, and an investor could lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Nothing again contained herein is a solicitation offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not indicative of future results. All right, so now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, guys, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the news, see what the news has to offer today. Okay, so let's see, move that over here. Okay, I'll get back to my screen here. All right, hopefully you guys can see my screen. I don't know, every time I move to this screen, that seems to be a problem when I get some black comments about black screen. So let's review the news here. So we have new home sales coming in today at 10 a.m. Crude oil inventories coming in at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then we have some note yield reports coming in at 1 p.m. respectively. And then we have really at the end of the market that really shouldn't have any effect on us. We have a Fed member speaking, Kugler speaking at 4 p.m. But by then we should be well out of the market, so that has minimal to no impact here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the charts here. So I'm gonna go ahead, stop share, and locate my morning, Ricky. All right, locate my here. I was kind of looking at the NASDAQ just prior to the session here. So let's move this back to GC, which is our chart of choice, at least to start with anyway. Let's move this down here so I can navigate both my charts. And okay, so hopefully you guys can see my charts. It appears that you do. Appears that you can here. Okay, so let's take a look here, and let's take a look at a higher time frame and get a sense for what the market is trying to accomplish. Well, it looks like the market is a little bit indecisive at these levels, even though we did get a gap open. Okay. A little bit of an indecision here, right? We have a doji candle, a developing doji candle as we speak. Okay. So I don't know if that's an indication that we could maybe see a little bit of a retracement. Okay. But we're not here to look for trades. We're basically trying to arrive at what the sentiment is. Okay. Well, market sentiment, okay, on the daily remains bullish. Okay. We got higher highs and higher lows. We haven't broke any significant price structure to the downside. So I would say on the daily chart, we will remain bullish in gold. Okay. For our chart, see if I can go ahead and turn this off for a little bit. Okay. So we are above some of the EMAs that we care about. This is the 233. I believe this is the one, what is it, 159. Okay. Just a couple of levels here. You can see that the 159 is respected here. Okay, including, so these are some EMAs that I use. The purple one is 159. This is the 233. Okay, and their price is above both. Okay, so again, the sentiment remains bullish. I think over the last, I would say, 4 or 5 candles, we've been a little bit in the range. We did make an attempt to go to higher prices, but that's been rejected. Okay. And now they're kind of building up strength here for another, maybe another leg higher here. But you can see here we had a similar rejection. Okay. On this candle right here, right? And then we continued with our trek higher. Okay. So 4R is bullish, but I would say that right now it's a little bit in range. All right. We have some overlapping candles indicating that we are in range. Okay. So moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart, really no conviction in either direction. I would say that we have a fair amount of people that might be short the market. Okay. We had a nice, bearish engulfing candle here. Not quite, this is just prior to the London session. And then we continued to the downside, for most of the session until London. London appears to be a little bit more bullish on the market. We've come into an area, value area high here, and that was met with some buyers, but not aggressive buyers. Okay, but buyers nonetheless. We did manage to break above this area of consolidation, and now we have a developing candle to the downside. So don't know right now. I think it's a little bit early. I would say as long as we remain above 2680, okay, 2680, and we don't go inside the value area here, okay, as long as we don't go inside value, then I would say that the path of least resistance remains higher. Okay. If we do manage to close inside value, maybe below this area here. So because this area, this was at the bottom at the start of London. Okay, and this is probably an area where I want to draw my anchored VWAP. Okay, right about here. Okay, as long as price stays above my anchor VWAP, my view of this is that we will remain, will continue to the upside. Okay, as long as we remain above that. Let's go ahead and open up my daily VWAP. Well, my daily VWAP looks like we did manage to close above that one as well. So that's another piece of evidence that we might be looking at higher prices. This is our settlement price. Notice how settlement continues to offer us locations for reversals. Okay, price came down to yesterday's settlement, and what happened? Well, we reversed away from it. Not super aggressive, right? But from let's say 2679 or maybe 2678, we're back up to 2683. Okay, so that's still reasonable 5-point move in gold is not very bad on a single lot. That's $500. Okay, so in any case, so right now, let's see, initial balance. We're going to go ahead and open up. We have a very relatively narrow initial balance range. Okay, so we have evidence here, right? We have settlement price, we have value, we have VWAP, all above. Okay, now we have a developing initial balance. This is a little bit on the narrow side. Now, if we do manage to close below value, below VWAP, below the anchor VWAP, and break initial balance to the downside, I'm not one to say that we're not going to go down from here, because again, I can make a similar case based on this swing, right? That if I just measure this swing from this location, it's not unreasonable to think that we might not go back through the entire range of value. Okay, so that's kind of a bearish scenario. If we start to break below, right, price breaks below some of these levels, VWAP, right, is being challenged right now. Anchor VWAP as a second. Well, and then if we can get below settlement price, well, that gives us I guess enough momentum to potentially entertain a short trade that will take us right through value. Okay. Point of control would probably be a reasonable target. Value area low is the next target. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and add the my levels here to this chart, and we'll double confirm those, and then we'll move on to crude oil. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add our levels here to the chart. Okay, here are our levels. Okay, here are our levels. So we've established value area high here at 2680. Okay, this is not even close, so we'll go ahead and remove it. Okay, 2680, but that's already reflected here. Okay, so we go remove this. 2680. And then we have, let's open up average daily high. Okay, so our average daily high is close to this 2700 level. Okay, I put 2700 because 2699.8 just doesn't seem like it's basically 2700. Okay, so we have average daily high here at 2700. We have average daily low at 2666. We have our value areas. Okay, we've already established one of them here is at 2680. Okay, value area high. Our value area low is 2659. 2659, which is accurate. Point of control is at 2667. Okay, we have settlement at 2667, so 677. Okay, there it is. All right, so all these levels seem to be in order here. What we don't have really is a solid 4-hour supply level. I couldn't really locate, and that's probably why I have this. Let's take a peek here and see if I can find a supply level. Yeah, maybe you might make a case here that maybe a supply level is being established here around 2690. Okay, we have some rejection candles. Really not excited by the candle formations. Honestly, we have wicks on both ends. So for now, I'm just going to forego on the 4-hour supply. If we look to the left, we're at all-time highs. So I would need to see more evidence to actually add. Like I said before, is this what I'm thinking right now is that this area right here is an area of supply. Okay, going to modify this in red. Okay, but I need to see price continue to respect this level. I cannot see price close inside it. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing on the gold. So let's quickly go through some hypos here and see. So right now, like I said before, is that we are coming into an area where we could, there was a pretty significant seller here, right, that came into the market. Chances are that he's still around. Okay, so I would say that any price that comes into this area right here, right, any area in this area could cause this person to come back and step into the market. Okay, so this area right here is ripe for selling. Now, if we do get a break, as I mentioned before, to the downside, okay, and we break initial balance. Right now, we're challenging the daily VWAP. Okay, if we get below anchor VWAP, we get below settlement price, I don't see there why there's any reason why we can't get back down to ADR low. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up ASR here. We have ASR here at 26.91. So I'm going to go ahead and modify that a little bit. 26.91.10, 91, 91.10. Okay. All right. 1.10. Okay. And then our value area low, no, ASR low is 26.667.9. Okay. So average session low. Yeah, 26.67.9. So let's modify this. Okay, so let's modify our average session range. So this is 26.667.9 here. Okay. All right. So again, right now, I'm basically sitting on my hands. Again, I would say that right now we're a little bit of in bullish structure. Okay. I'm a little hesitant given this swing here, and that we're coming into an area where we could potentially see a seller. We even have ASR high here, offering us a location for a potential nice reversal. Okay, away, right? We can maybe get a rally up to ASR and then a reversal down. Okay, so that's another area that I'm going to be paying a particular attention to. Again, I'm being influenced a bit by the strength of this candle right here. I don't know what happened at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, but it caused the gold market here to take a dive. Okay, so I have to assume that whoever these people were are still around. So this would be a logical area for a potential reversal in price. Okay. All right. So I think that's all I have for the gold market. If there's any questions, I'm happy to entertain them. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. All right. So I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. So I'm going to go ahead and modify this to CLX. All right. So it looks like the market is selling off a little bit. It sold off since there's a lot of sellers in this market at the moment. Okay. Again, this settlement price here, okay, offered us a nice opportunity to take the market south. Okay. Nice reference level for a reversal in price here. So let's quickly take a look at the daily, see what the daily has to offer. Wow, it's pretty ominous developing bearish candle here. Okay. It's far from closing, right? We still have a ways away before this market closes. Okay. But ominous nonetheless, right? So right now we were or are remain kind of some bullish structure, but that's being challenged. Okay, pretty aggressively here. Okay, so you see here that we have the candle peeking out of this channel here. So that could lead us to some more, downside pressure, downside price move. Okay, assuming that we get a close below this channel here. Okay, so right now I would say that we have kind of maybe a potential change, not really a change in character because the character has remained bearish. Okay, we had kind of an area here where we were seeing some bullish price action, but that's being challenged as we speak. Okay, but like I said, this candle is a ways away from closing. All right, so let's take a look at the 4-hour. Okay, for our chart, similar kind of view here. We're going to get a report on whether this candle can indeed remain bearish, right, in about an hour on the 4-hour, right, we're going to get a report there. And assuming that this candle closes a bearish, again, we have again evidence that maybe this market is going to begin to roll over here. Okay, you can see that price has reacted off our EMA 233-day EMA. Okay, I'm just going to remove this and kind of maybe turn off some of these things because they're affecting my ability to review here. Okay, so you can see here that we've come up to this 233-day EMA, and what did we do when we got to it? We reversed away from it. Okay, like I said, I don't make up these levels. These levels kind of, right? We had another nice reversal away from the 233-day EMA. Again, we're down to this 233-day. We pushed above it, could not sustain. So what happened? We reversed away from it. And then we continue to reverse. Now we've come into an area of, I would say, this is an area of demand. We've gotten a little bit of reaction away from this. Okay, we're seeing some wicks. Okay, so is this going to create the series of candles to, I guess, keep us in range, or are we going to see, price, get below 69? Okay, 69 is a key level here. All right, so you can see as I draw this, I'm going to draw this manually here. Okay, but as you can see here, we got some response away from this area. Okay, so as long as that area remains intact, meaning that we don't get any closes, we don't get price closing below this area, then I would say 69.50 is an area that we should look for, maybe for a potential bounce, so kind of remain in range. All right, we'll see now that we have EIA coming in today. We'll see how price reacts off of 69.50. Okay, because that's what it feels like it's going to reach, at least. Okay, all right, so that's kind of what I'm seeing on the 4-hour. Let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. I'm gonna keep that little demand zone. I'm gonna remove this. Okay, this is an execution that I took yesterday on the short side. All right, so you can see that we are below VWAP. We are below some of our EMAs. We are below settlement again, offering a nice reversal off a settlement. Okay, initial balance is a few minutes away, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on so that when it becomes available, we can use it. Okay, so we got a nice reversal or nice extension of initial balance. Okay, maybe not as nice as I hoped. I guess I was maybe hoping that it would maybe make a stronger beeline down to this settlement price. It kind of meandered the rest of the day. Okay, so really not a super strong sustained auction. Now we were in range, for most of the evening until the start of London, and then London was able to take this market down. Okay, now it's down to a level where I would expect to see, some potential buyers stepping in here. Okay, this is at a level where I would expect maybe some buyers to step in. Okay, all right. So let's see. Let's go ahead and now open up this here. Okay. And so you can see here that we're well below value. Okay, well below value here. You can see this is the value range. This blue area is in value. Okay, so we're well below value, and now we have some supply zones above us that could cause price to reverse. Okay, so right now I would say that we're probably a bit extended to the downside. Okay, it's kind of like I had mentioned that we don't stay too far away from VWAP. Okay, before we kind of make a move back closer to VWAP, right? So I kind of coined the phrase, "Have you hugged your VWAP today?" Okay, because the idea is that the VWAP doesn't want to see price too far away from it for very long. Okay, So I do see that maybe there might be a potential, kind of VWAP, target trade here, right? Maybe the top of this EMA here as kind of like a mean reversion trade. If you're interested in that, I see opportunity maybe for a mean reversion trade, assuming that this candle closes in a bullish way. But then as we get close to this VWAP, or as we get close to this anchored VWAP, which I'm about to draw here, let's see if I can find my anchor VWAP tool. So I'm going to go ahead and with the top of the London market. So you can see here, okay, that either of these two could offer us a nice target for price. Okay, nice target for price. All right. Right, whether it's anchored VWAP, okay, or daily VWAP. But I think the bigger trade would be to wait for price to get up to VWAP or to get up to anchor VWAP and wait for a reaction for a continuation move to the downside. That's kind of, I would say, is in line with what we're seeing here, okay, because there's a fair amount of strength in this swing to the downside. We can't ignore that, right? So if price manages to get to any of these levels above us, well, that could offer us a opportunity to take or participate in a continuation move to the downside. We go ahead and open up initial balance. So this initial balance range is getting established. I would expect, no guarantees, I would expect that our initial balance range is going to be remain a bit muted today, because today is EIA, right? Unless some folks get a tip on what the report is about. If there's really no demand, okay, there's a surplus of oil in the market, which is hard to believe. But if there is a surplus of oil in the market and that we did not get any sort of draw, right, then yes, I would say that price would continue to fall. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and add our levels to this chart. Okay, I'm just gonna add our reference levels here. So this is our value area. Okay, this range here. This here is our value area low. Okay. So right now, I would have to say that my view on crude oil is a bit on the bearish side. Oil prices declined despite China falling U.S. inventories, supply cuts. Yeah. Right. So again, there's been attempts to kind of cause the oil to move higher, but right now it's been met with some selling. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our levels here, and then we'll move on to some of these other markets. Okay. Okay, so let's cut and paste my levels here. Okay, so here are our levels. Okay, here are our levels for the market here. We have an initial balance range that's developing. Okay, I'm gonna see. We're gonna double check on some of these things. I'm going to open up ADR here. Okay, there's our ADR levels, well above the market. Okay, trying to get this all in. Okay, so we have ADR well above. That's coming in at 72.51, which is what we have. We're going to go ahead and open up ASR. That's 72.16. 72.16. Well, that's adjusted a little bit to the downside. Okay, so we're going to modify that, 72.16. And then our average session range low. Our average session range low is 70.42. Okay, so we're going to adjust that a little bit as well. Okay. All right, and then all the other pieces of information, we have a value area high coming in at, what do we got here? Let's open up our fixed range volume tool just to double confirm what I have here. So let's locate the the 6 a.m. candle here, our 9 a.m. candle, sorry, and then drag this to the 4:30 candle. All right, and there we are. So our ranges are a little bit tighter. So let's see, we have got a lot of things going on here. Let me turn this off for a second. Let's turn off this for a second. Okay, so we have the top of the value range at 71.66. Okay, value area high. And then value area low is coming in at 71.25. Okay, so that seems in order. Point of control, 71.38. Okay, so it looks like we're in order here. All right. Now, so what to make of this market? Well, like I said, right now it feels like it wants to make maybe a little bit of a retracement back up to some of these levels, maybe back up to anchor VWAP, maybe back up to this 233-day EMA and this daily VWAP. Okay, so maybe there is an opportunity for a mean reversion trade up to these levels. Okay. But me personally, I would like to be a seller of 71. I don't know, guys, you might have heard me say 71 before. Okay, 71 is rearing its head again. Okay, but this 71 level might be a good area. What was supportive becomes resistant. This might be a good level for price to reverse away from. Okay, so either I take a mean reversion up to that level. Okay, or I wait and remain patient and disciplined and remain aligned with the structure and look for a trade to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for crude oil. I'm taking a peek here in the chat to see if there's any questions. I'm not seeing them, so I'm assuming that everyone is understanding what I'm sharing here. So yeah, for now, I would say that if you wanted to take a trade, it would probably need to be to the upside, but that I wouldn't marry that trade. Okay, I would be looking for maybe to sell strength. 71 seems like a logical level. 70, 78 might be another. Okay. Level as well. Okay, so we'll just have to wait for this pre-market to establish its not pre-market, this initial balance range to establish. I would probably encourage you to maybe remain flat until EIA when it comes to the crude oil market. I don't think there's really any point in participating prior to that because you run the risk of the market being quite dull up until the EIA report. Okay. Dull in the sense that it's probably not going to move in any sort of direction with any sort of vigor, unless maybe there is some sort of leak, okay, on the number before. That could cause people to change their positions in this market. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for crude oil. Let's go ahead and move on to the equity market, and our equity market of choice here is our friend the Nasdaq. Okay. So we'll start with the Nasdaq, and we'll follow this up with the S&P. Okay. So again, starting with the daily chart, right? We look at the daily chart and we ask ourselves the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market continues to try to head higher. Okay. Every attempt to sell this market has been met with some buying. Okay. So we have evidence of buyers, all right, throughout this series of candles here, right? Buyer, 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 right? Everybody is trying to drive we have a strong bullish candle. Okay. So as we kind of get further context to this, well, we are up against an area where we could potentially see some sellers, and we are seeing a few sellers, but there seems to be quite a bit of demand in this market. Okay. Right now, if we do get above this level, all right, say 20,170 or 20,200, then I would say that that opens up the door to get us back to maybe as high as the highs here, right? 21,000. Okay. If we can get above 20,200, maybe 20,300, I say that opens up the door. We have a very large, what looks like a W pattern here. Okay. We have one swing up, down, up, and now we couldn't even make it back down to its prior level here before we started to make our move. Okay. So the market on the daily is looking a bit bullish. I would say. Um, and we're at some areas of supply, but these areas of supply have not generated the same sellers that they've generated in the past. It's been quite muted. Okay. And so if there's no sellers here, then the market is going to naturally continue to grind to the upside. Okay. The next area where maybe the sellers could take a stand is around this level here, because you can see that there we had some selling take place here at around 20,000. I'm just going to call it 850. Okay, that could be another area that we could potentially see some sellers. Okay, moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, again, we're kind of reviewing these candles. We're trying to get a feel for what the market is trying to tell us. Okay, that's what I use these higher time frames for, right? I'm not necessarily trading off a daily level or trading off of a 4-hour level, although I will use the 4-hour to help me manage my trade. Okay, so again, we are seeing some pushes to the upside. I would say that if we can get above 20,200, that number is coming up again. If we can get above 20,200, that might lead to another leg higher. Okay, because if I do my little Fibonacci extension analysis on this, see if I can find my tool here. Not there. Where is my Fibonacci thing? Really? Okay, there it is. All right. So if I do my little Fibonacci extension analysis, right, I don't see any reason why we don't get back to 20,273 and maybe as high as 20,500, given this swing that I'm seeing here. Okay, because right now this is behaving like this is merely a retracement of this swing. Okay, so right now I would say the 4-hour is also telling me that maybe we continue to the upside. Okay, all right, moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, this is where we start to do a little volume analysis. So I'll just double check here. We're at the right place. Yes, this is Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. So right now we're inside value from yesterday. Not really an area that I really want to participate. We are seeing that price is above our daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP if I can locate it, and I'm gonna choose the start of London. Okay, and you can see here that we're both above the daily VWAP and the anchored VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and open up settlement price. We're not quite up to settlement. This could be an area here, right? Settlement price. We've seen some nice reversals off of settlement. Okay, and we're coming in from the bottom side here. Okay, so this 20,170. Okay, could be an area where we could potentially see a reversal in price. Okay, just based on reference levels, just based on what we've seen of these reference levels in the past. Okay, settlement price is often maybe to a lesser degree on the equities, but I do see evidence here that it is being respected. Okay, even in the equities here. So it'll be interesting to me. If I'm interested in any sort of long, I need to first see that it can get above 20,170. And then at that point, I might, I'm going to wait for a candle to go up here. And then I might use on the other end, on the other side of this, maybe there I would maybe want to participate to the long side. Okay. But for now, I have to be open to the possibility that settlement is going to offer some resistance. Okay. Some resistance for a downside trade. So this is kind of what I'm seeing so far. Okay. If I'm bullish on this market, let the market prove it to me. Okay. And one of the ways that it can prove it to me is, can it get above 20,170? If it can get above 20,170, then I'm going to look for a little bit of retracement back to 20,170 for another extension move up to this Fibonacci extension level. If not, then we're probably not going to get above, and we're starting to maybe build some resistance here, and we're going to falter. We're going to head back down. Okay. Right now, there's nothing to do. I'm inside value. and I'm not at my level. So I'm just going to sit on my hands. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add our levels here really quick. Okay. These are the levels that I'm looking at here in this market. All right. So I'll put that over here to the right. These are my levels. Okay. And it's in some explanation as to why they are. And I've given you a couple of hypos that I'm going to be looking for, possibilities that I will be entertaining in this market. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up ADR, just kind of double confirm some of these levels. So we have ADR high here coming in at 335. That's good. Average session range, that's also coming up at 238. Let's see, maybe I'll modify this to London here temporarily. Yeah, that is London. Okay. So 238. So let's see, US session is not, so I'm going to modify it to 238 for now, but understand that this will probably change. This will probably change when the market officially opens here. Okay. This is going to be 980. Okay. 980. All right. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, but understand that the average session ranges could adjust with the open of the market. Okay. So for now, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for price to get to some of these levels that I care about. Settlement price, average session range high, to see maybe that offers me some opportunities to in this case, to participate in the market. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anything else that I should be calling out here? I'm just kind of double checking my levels here. They all seem to be relatively in order here. This might be a little bit low on the low side. This point of control is probably more like 2147. Okay. 75. Okay. And then we have settlement at 167.75. So that looks good. Value area low, I'm going to double check, as 20096. That's good. All right. So those are kind of my two hypos that I'm going to be looking for, guys. Right now, I'm kind of keen to see how price reacts off of settlement here at around 20,170. That could offer us a nice reversal. Okay. If price does happen to close above settlement, then I would be looking maybe for a move up to ASR, and then maybe a pullback to settlement for a move higher. Okay. So those are a couple of hypos that I'm going to be looking at here. Okay. So before I talk through the last market of the day, I do see a fair number of people. Actually, it's pretty good. I'm getting some good reactions on the likes. Don't be, I guess, don't be shy with hitting the like button. Don't be shy in maybe even commenting as you find this recording in social media, specifically Twitter, X. That don't be shy with comments or likes or what have you. Okay. Those are, again, kind of the lifeblood of content providers like myself. And I'm hoping, at least 32 participants think so. Anyway, for now. Yes, it's possible. That's possible. Always use protection, Reading Tiger. Okay. All right. So that's only in real life. Okay. Computer is safe. Okay. Computer is safe, but I like that one. All right. That's funny. Okay. Let's move on to the daily here, guys. Daily. All right. So again, similar to what we were seeing, I'm going to turn off these supply and demand levels for now. I would say that, we're seeing some evidence here. We saw some evidence in the NASDAQ, but, we're seeing some evidence that the market wants to, you're welcome, Frizu, that the market wants to continue higher. Okay. That's evident on the higher time frame as well. You could see that we have some buying wicks, right? Buying wicks, right? Very little in the way of selling wicks. So that indicates that the market wants to continue to the upside. Okay. On the daily. All right. Looking at the 4-hour. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour has been kind of non-committal overnight, but if you look at it closely, that the price action continues to be sloping higher, right? Now we're up at a level, I would say 5,800, that it needs to kind of maneuver. Okay. If it can get above 5,800, okay, then I would say that, we can continue our trek to the upside. Okay. I was looking to the left to see where price might stall. I don't see anything to the left that could stall price. Okay. So moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Here we are. We're up against settlement. Remember, I was telling you I was going to be interested to see how price reacts off a settlement. Well, right now, that's a pretty muted response here away from settlement, and we have a lot of buying wicks coming in from below. Okay, so I don't know if that's also an indication that we could expect in the Nasdaq, but that's a little nugget that might actually help us choose a direction. Okay. Yeah, so that's Farador. I mean, they're very correlated markets, Farador. So you could use the ES to help guide you as to what you need to do on the Nasdaq side, since they are very correlated. Okay, they are very correlated markets. I've even used the YM, which is even less correlated with moves that I've seen in Nasdaq and ES to guide me as to the type of trade I should take on the YM. So yes, I would say there is something to reviewing what you see in the ES, and if you see that Nasdaq is a bit lagging, that you could potentially use that information to support your move, right? As kind of a prediction. Okay, nothing is a guarantee here, Farador, but yes, there is correlation between these markets. Okay, all right. So again, I had mentioned that I was kind of looking to see if the settlement price was going to offer us, a solid move to the downside. Well, right now it's been a bit muted. What it looks like it wants to do is it looks like it wants to break, okay, potentially break this settlement price. Now it's having a little bit of trouble, right, to get around this area. Okay, so like I mentioned before, I want to see a definitive. If I'm going to be long, I want to see a definitive move through this area, and then I want to be the one to participate after that move. Okay, right at that same level, but I don't want to lead the charge. Okay, I want to be the second round of reinforcements to come in. Okay, around 5,800 to support a move to the upside. Okay, that's where I want to be. All right, I don't be the guy. Don't be the guy that don't be in the front lines. Okay, trying to push through this area. Okay, because you're probably going to get hit with a lot of arrows. All right, don't be that person, right? If because this is still a very good area where we could see a reversal in price. Okay, still very good area where we can see a reversal in price. So let the market participants, let the banks, the hedge funds, whomever drives markets, let them be the ones to pave the way. And once we have a clear path forward, okay, to the upside, then wait for a retracement, either to say an anchor VWAP or a VWAP or something, right? That will help guide you here, right? So right now, I would say that we do an anchor VWAP right at this level here. If I can get my anchor VWAP to behave here, I'm going to say that's probably right around here. Okay. So as long as price stays above this anchor VWAP and daily VWAP, we have to think bullish, but we also understand that we're up against an area of supply or resistance or reference level that could offer some price to react, right? So until we get above this level, okay, I'm kind of a cautious bull, I would say. All right, I'm a cautious bull, right? Because I do see that there is a possibility that we could reverse from here. Doesn't appear so, doesn't appear to be that way, but what appears could also be deceiving, right? The last IB hits have impact on resistance for today on NQ. Okay. Are you asking that question, or are you sharing that fact? All right. So in the meantime, while I wait for that question. Okay. Right now we're looking at ES. So let me finish up, and then maybe I can come back to that question. All right, Farador. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to the start of this market from yesterday. That's kind of where I like to draw my volume profiles. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to drag that across to the 430 bar. So again, we are inside value, right? Inside value means that we should respect the ranges, right? Value area high, value area low, right? So this value area high range, again, similar to this settlement price, could offer us an area for a reversal in price, right? This area is ripe for reversals, okay? Assuming we get above 57.93 with some vigor, with some force. Okay, I'm going to add my volume delta here because I don't know what happened to it, but it's not there. Okay, well maybe it's there, just hiding. Okay, I want to see what volume delta is telling me. Well, volume delta is not really telling me much of anything, right? If anything, it's saying that it's pretty neutral with respect to price, and honestly, that there's more bearish trades than there are bullish trades at the moment. Okay, although we are seeing a wick here on the bottom of this volume delta. Okay, so in any case, the last thing I want to add here is the levels for ES. Okay, and then we'll maybe move back to the Nasdaq to address Farador's question. Okay, so these are the levels that I'll be using to track the ES. I'm going to go ahead and open up my average daily range. Okay, just to get a feel for what the average range tells me that this market could lead, right? And look, lo and behold, we have this 5820 level. Okay, very logical, psychological 5800. All right, could be a magnet to price. Okay. All right. So right now I'm just going to double confirm my levels here. We have 5821 to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and open up ASR with the understanding that these ASR ranges could change with the open of the markets. Okay, so we have a couple of areas of destination that for price to go. Okay, because it looks like it is developing a little bit of structure here that price wants to move to the upside. Okay, but for me, I'd like to see price get above with some, with some vigor. Right now I'm not seeing the vigor here. Okay, a lot of selling here. Price and the volume. Oh, there's a little change here. So we're looking at a 30-minute chart. So what's just kind of waffling between sell volume and buy volume. Okay, sell volume, buy volume. All right, so I'd like to see some sell volume come in, maybe around these levels, right? This kind of order to support a long trade. So let's take a peek here at so this is kind of what I'm looking again. Right now, I would say that my view of this is that we're going to head higher. Okay, my view of this market is heading higher, but I'm a cautious buyer. Okay, I also understand that price could peak above and reverse on me. Okay, so I'm being cautious and waiting for these market participants to tell me the way. But right now, it seems that we are seeing some volume kind of continuing to kind of percolate to the upside. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing. We're about 3 minutes away from the open of the market here. Let's see if I can address and if I understand Parador's question. Okay, we're looking at the NQ, and his first question is S&P is in the new high, but not Nasdaq. That's correct, right? So you see a little bit of a gap here, right? Nasdaq, ES was already at the settlement price. So yes, the answer to the question is that these markets are very correlated, and that I often use S&P 500 to support my direction of trade. Last IB range. Okay, let's look at the last IB range. So we look at the last. So we are up against the last IB high from that could be resistant too. Yes. So we have a couple of areas of resistance, and if you recall, if we did our fixed range volume profile, okay, well, this is probably also an area where we might also see value area high. Okay, right. So here's value area high. Here's our IB high. So yes, Ferrador, all these levels that you're looking at, IB high, settlement price, value area high. These also could offer areas of resistance for price to begin to reverse away from it. Okay. The condition of 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Yeah. So yeah, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Let's see. Yeah, this congestion could also be resistant. So yes, Ferrador, yes on all fronts. Okay. IB high, value area high, settlement price, this congestion area. These can all offer us logical reference levels for price to reverse away from. Okay. I'm not going to kind of blindly place sell orders there. Okay. But if I get some price action, and the thing that I'm going to be looking for, now we just got the open here of the market, what I'm going to be looking for is some indication, right? Some indication that that's indeed in order, right? So what I'm going to be drawing is my famous channels, okay? And if I get a break of channel in the direction of the trade, right? If I get a break of channel, and I might even want to draw this channel a little bit tighter, okay? But if I keep it at this level, I'm going to want to see a break of price right below my channel here, right? I'm not going to just blindly, okay? Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean, definitely keep it in mind, but there seems to be a fair amount of push, right, to the upside here, and these levels may or may not be respected. All right, okay, but something definitely to keep in mind for sure. Okay, all right. One thing that I haven't looked at yet, and I'd like to before we close today, is the YM. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick peek at the YM. The YM is even stronger. Okay, that is even stronger than either. So you can see here. You can see here the strength of the volume that we're getting here. Now this almost looks like a bait and switch here, so we have to be careful what I'm saying here. But so again, looking at the daily chart, okay, looking at the daily chart on this, you can see that the market is trying to head higher. We're looking at a very bullish market here on the YM. 4-hour chart is most likely going to tell us the same kind of thing. I'm going to turn off my ADR levels, my ASR levels, my initial balance ranges. Okay. So again, we continue. It's kind of like an ascending wedge. We've made a couple of attempts here to higher prices, been rejected, but we continue to grind higher. Okay. Continue to grind higher. 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. We have a market is open now. So I'm going to go ahead and open up initial balance. Okay, we made an attempt to go higher. For now, it's been rejected. Okay, but the market is establishing itself. That's why I like to wait for at least 30 minutes, preferably an hour, to kind of let the market kind of decide on what it wants to do. Basically, establish the market. Where are my sellers? Where are my buyers? Well, we found some sellers at 42,679. Okay, right. We found some buyers at 42,579. Notice how it respected this daily VWAP. Okay, so let's go ahead and capture some of these levels. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and open up ADR. All right, my average daily range. Right, this is right here is 42,758, 758. Okay, is my ADR high. Okay. All right, and then we have ADR low here at 42,000. 42,000. Blah blah blah. Where is it? 367 maybe. Yeah, 367. 367 is our ADR low. All right, and then in between, we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here to here. Okay, there's our profile. So we have value area high coming in at 42,562. 42,562 is our value area high. And then we have point of control at, what is that? Point of control at 42,512 is our point of control. Our settlement price is 42,597. Okay, 42,597 is our settlement price. 42,597 is our settlement. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to be looking at is my ASR. Well, actually, you know what? We have value area low here. Value area low is 42,481. 42,481 is my value area low. Okay. Now, the last thing I'm going to be looking at now is ASR. Now that the market is opened, I'm going to go ahead and open up my ASR. So I have 42,853. Okay. That's the high, 42,853. That's my value. That's my ASR session range high. Okay. And then my low here is at 42,465. So I'm going to move that over here. 42,465 is my ASR low. Okay. All right. So, yeah, again, I'm going to be keen and to watch some of these levels. I'm going to be keen to look to see what price does around my reference levels. Okay. If I do see that we get a break, let me go ahead and add my anchor VWAP. So my anchor VWAP, I'm probably going to put it right about here. Okay. So if I do get a break of anchor VWAP to the downside, a close, I could use this reference level. I can use initial balance to offer maybe a short trade to the downside. So this is kind of like a little bit of a bait and switch, right? They bait you into a buy and they reverse the market in the other direction. Okay. That's what often happens on breakout trades. Okay. To be honest. Okay. So this might be the beginnings of maybe a short trade, but I'm going to be waiting for initial balance to kind of establish and for price to get below some of these reference levels that I like, the anchor VWAP and the daily VWAP, before I participate in any sort of short trade in this market. Okay. That's kind of what I'm looking at. If I'm a buyer, well, I'm going to be looking at ASR low, ADR low. Those are going to be my areas of buy. Maybe IB low from not today, but prior day might be another area. Okay, to support a buy. Okay, so I think, guys, with that, I'm already kind of 6 minutes past the hour here, 6 minutes into the market. So I'm going to leave you guys to the market. Okay, encourage you guys to continue to focus on your levels, focus on your edge, focus on your process. So trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Okay, guys. I'll see you guys in group in the Coach Ray's room and on the Top Step server. I'll hang out there for a little bit, and then later today we have our coaching session. Okay, so our group coaching later this afternoon at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's also off the Top Step server there, so you can catch me there. Otherwise, don't be afraid to hit the likes, comment, anything along those lines. And we'll talk again. Okay, now I know who Faradar Trader is, Trader Dubois. Okay, you're welcome, Trader Dubois. Okay. I think that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna be looking for my opportunities in this market here as we approach the 10 o'clock hour, top of the hour here. That's going to be my signal to begin to look for opportunities. So crude oil traders, you need to be, I guess, again, remain aware of the EIA report that's going to happen here at 10:30. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. So have a safe and profitable session. Okay, guys. All right. We'll talk. Stop share here, and that be it. All right. You're welcome, Anthowil. You're welcome, Feridor. You're welcome, Sapadia, and you're welcome, Larry. All right. Have a good day trading, guys, and we'll talk soon.